Right now, I'm here with Dayton Miller. He's the managing partner of Boulder Food Group Partners. So, Dayton, can you just to kick it off, start talking about a little bit about the Boulder Food Group Partners and what do you do and what do you guys invest in?
Sure. So BFG is an early stage investment firm focused exclusively on the food and beverage space. We typically get involved with businesses that have either around $1 million in trailing 12-month revenue or kind of a clear line of sight to that level of revenue, which is pretty early stage for folks that are investing in the space. We're a group of ex-entrepreneurs, and we like to think that we're a bit more comfortable kind of going early and hopefully being great partners with the brands that we're fortunate to partner with.
So can you tell me a little bit about what you look for in a brand when you guys are investing?
Sure. So I think for us, it really starts with the people. I think a lot of folks probably saw Gail speak yesterday, but we were really fortunate to partner with her, and she's kind of a model partner in the sense that it's someone who is super passionate, has a really authentic story, but also is just an extremely accomplished corporate executive in a former life, and someone who we really thought had a great vision for taking a brand and building something big. So outside of people, obviously the product's really important. We typically invest in products that are better for you in some fashion or really innovative in some way, and that can kind of take many different shapes and sizes. And then ultimately, I think it really comes down to kind of strategy and fit for us. We like to say there are many different ways to win, and depending on kind of your strategy and maybe how quickly you want to scale or channel strategy, we might be a great partner or maybe not.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about Caulipower because we all saw that presentation yesterday and I think it really resonated with a lot of people. So just talk a little bit more about what drew you guys to Gail and Caulipower and like their mission.
Yeah, sure. So I think first and foremost, it starts with a great product. Mm-hmm. We were fortunate to try the product at Expo West in 2017, but actually I didn't meet Gail there, believe it or not. I mean, Expo West is so busy that it's like 4 or 5 people deep just to try a product. Sure. But we were fortunate to connect with her a few months later. She lives in Los Angeles. We had one phone call and just knew like the very next day, like that day, like we have to get in front of her as soon as we can. And the very next day we met for lunch and spent several hours together, and we had a deal signed a week later. I think it's one of those things where if folks are kind of, she was driven to start the business because 2 of her 2 sons have celiac. Mm-hmm. So really having that deep connection and knowing that she's a purpose-driven entrepreneur, and then also having a great product, and then being someone that we felt we could really build a team around. She was the only full-time employee at the time, mm-hmm. And I don't even think she was paying herself anything yet. And with a couple of part-time employees and agencies that she was working with, and so I think today they're close to 50 employees, and she's really built a great team and has such a great vision for that brand, and we think it has such a long runway ahead of it.
Mm-hmm. I think one of the big takeaways from that was just how quickly Cauliflower just kept growing and getting all this media attention from like the Queer Eye guys and everybody, and like why do you think that Cauliflower grew so quickly, and what hand did you guys play in that?
Yeah, look, I mean, I wish we could say that we knew it was going to grow as quickly as it did. We kind of go into all of these partnerships thinking that hopefully there's multiple ways to win, mm-hmm. And then hopefully I'm sure we're going to be negatively surprised sometimes, and hopefully we're positively surprised sometimes. And this was one where really no matter where it kind of went into retail, you name the store, it sold. I think it's a combination of a great tasting product, a fabulous brand. Gail talked a bit about the packaging yesterday, and really, it says like "Live life on the veg" really big, or mm-hmm. "Pizza, your favorite vegetable." Really eye-catching, and to go into the freezer where you're not able to get like off-shelf displays and things like that. You really need to incentivize someone to open the door, mm-hmm. and that packaging really helped that. And then thankfully, once people try it, they love it, and so it's really just about getting that pizza into as many people's hands as we could. Mm-hmm. And we've really worked hard at that with the Veg Out Lounge and the cross country tour, and focusing on some shopper marketing initiatives and things like that.
Mm-hmm. And I think another great part from that presentation was just how she was just talking about how important it is for investors to bet on female entrepreneurs. I think it got a big round of applause, some hoots and hollers from the crowd. So is that an important part of what you guys do, is trying to find voices and people that maybe are not as represented in the food industry?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just comes back to the authenticity. What is interesting about BFG is more than 50% of our entrepreneurs are women. And we've been, for us, it just comes down to great people, whether they're male, female, or anything else. It's not like it's an overt kind of strategy of ours. That said, if you find someone who's passionate and authentic, that's someone we want to talk to.
Yeah, I think you kind of led into what I was going to ask about, how her background wasn't really in like the food industry. She came from PR and communications. Did that make you nervous or more excited that she was kind of bringing some fresh energy?
Yeah, look, I think she, and she always says, like, she knows like when to ask for help. She certainly has a skill set that we don't have, or at least, I definitely didn't have. But yet we were able to bring some experiences and kind of maybe back of house type stuff to the partnership that was really beneficial for her. She already had a great business when she partnered with us, and we just helped her really accelerate that.
So we also just saw a presentation on Walmart in the frozen and chilled food space. So what do you kind of think about that space right now and how much it's changing?
Well, I would just give a shout out to Walmart because I think they're doing a fabulous job. I've now been in the food and beverage industry for over 10 years, and how far they've come so quickly has been really amazing. Even in the last 5 years at BFG, our brand strategies with Walmart in terms of having them as a launch partner has really evolved. I think they nailed it in their presentation when they said 90% of U.S. consumers shop there. So if you're not selling there, then you're probably not trying to build a really big business, at least not yet today. So some of our brands are using them for launch partners, and they've really come a long way. Now, out of the roughly 4,000 stores in the U.S., maybe they'll go into 500 initially or 1,000 initially. Some are now launching into 2,000 stores, but they've just done a great job kind of meeting the needs of the evolving consumer, and they've done it. They've merchandised it in a way where they have better for you products kind of in their own sets and things, and it's really working.
So what do you think about how the food space, the frozen food space, has evolved as far as like the quality of products and what we're seeing now? Yeah,
I mean, at Caulipower, we always say fresh is the new frozen, frozen is the new fresh. And I think, like even Wall Street's starting to pick up on that quite a bit. If you think about kind of the product integrity of flash freezing something shortly after it's been picked relative to the freshness of produce that has maybe 6 weeks old, then the nutrient density is often greater in the frozen products. So we think people are just kind of slowly waking up to that. And obviously having such a great experience with Cauliflower certainly opened their eyes a bit to what that channel can become. I think people are finally going down those aisles again, and the frozen foods of today are very different from yesteryear.
And we also just saw a presentation on Pepsi Venture Group and what they're investing in. How do you kind of determine when investing what's like a passing trend and what's something that actually has staying power?
Yeah, I wish we had a crystal ball. I think, we try to kind of focus more on what are the underlying kind of characteristics of a trend. So rather than say, whatever the buzzword is of the day, whether it's paleo or keto or whatever it may be, what is the consumer trying to tell us? And, ultimately that kind of leads to better for you, or maybe less sugar, or things like healthy fats. We try to kind of follow some thought leaders in this space, but we're probably not always going to get it right.
Yeah, right, correct. So just to finish off, what are your thoughts on the presentations that we've had so far? What are your kind of takeaways, things you've learning, things that have excited you? Yeah, I think just generally the energy here is just awesome. So it's just so wonderful to be here, and to be here supporting a portfolio of companies even better.
I thought Walter Robb and just talking about the evolving landscape and kind of trying to think about things from the retailer's perspective was really good. I think, so much it's brand, but if you think about kind of not only, and even the Walmart presentation today as well, not only kind of solving the needs of the retailer, but also their end customers, and kind of coming to something that is a win-win-win is the right way to really build a big business fast. But no, it's just such a community, and the energy level, as you can hear, is really high. And
yes.
So it's great to be here. So thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping by. It was really great chatting with you, and enjoy the rest of your NOSH Live.